What's going on, guys? My name's Vito, and welcome back to Camp Crucible, a set of guides specifically tailored to the current Crucible in the Taken King. In today's video, I'll be going over the basics of playstyle and map movement, seeing as that a video on each would be a little too short. And this is going to be another episode that you can take these tips and span them across any other first-person shooter. Alright, so let's get right into it. The first tip I can give you as the new Destiny player, or someone who hasn't really quite found that much success in the Crucible, is to find the type of playstyle you like. The way I see it, there are two ends of the spectrum: passive and aggressive, aka camping and running and gunning. I, for one, like to run and gun. It's not the most effective way to play all the time, but I like to get right up into the action and search for kills rather than sit back and wait for the kills to come to me. Finding out what style of player you are is the first step to seeing how you're going to move around the map in each multiplayer match. And if you aren't finding any success and enjoying one style, feel free to switch it up and try the other and see if it better suits you. So let's talk really quickly about the aggressive playstyle. The pros of playing aggressive are that you'll always be at the center of attention, and usually there won't be a dull moment for you. Another pro is that you usually end up with the most kills at the end in the entire match at the end of the game. But now, the cons to all this is that you'll die a lot more. Henceforth, your kill-death ratio will suffer pretty greatly. Another con is that you'll start to see things with a less objective eye because you were killed by that guy behind you when you didn't really check your flank or secure the position you're in. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the passive playstyle. Over the years, I've been trying to play a little bit more passively to help improve my gameplay, and I would recommend this style to anyone who's trying to improve. The pros to this style of play is that you'll have a longer period of time to assess the situation you're currently in. If you're in a rumble or a free-for-all match for all those non-Destiny players, for example, you'll be able to tell yourself, okay, I'm ahead, I've secured my position, let's try and stay focused, and let's not make any hasty decisions here. As opposed to the aggressive player who is constantly running in guns blazing without a game plan. Another pro with the passive playstyle is that you won't die as much, hence your kill-death ratio will not suffer, and it might even increase over time with some consistent gameplay. Now, the cons to this playstyle, that I can see anyway, is that you probably won't be getting a ton of kills. And not getting a ton of kills in a game typing as Clash may not be the most beneficial thing for your team. Now, you're all probably wondering what this has to do with map movement. Well, the guns you use and how you play will affect the pace of the game and decide who will win, essentially, in the end. So now that we've found the optimal way for you to play, let's talk about how you're going to move about the map. If you're the aggressive type, you're most likely going to use weapons like auto rifles and shotguns. And what's the most effective range for auto rifles? Short to medium range combat. For example, a map like Drifter. There are a ton of narrow corridors with long sightlines. Well, you're not going to win a fight against a pulse rifle or a scout rifle down range if you're using an auto rifle, right? So what do? We stick to the platform in between those long corridors, because that's the range we're looking for. That is our best shot of success at landing kills. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, with the more passive player, we're probably going to want to use weapons like pulse rifles and scout rifles while sticking to the outskirts of the map, because with pulse and scout rifles, we're going to be at the most effective range looking down range, if that made sense. For example, on a map like the Dungeons, you have super long range sightlines on the left hand side of the map up top, and between the two elevated platforms on the bottom. You're going to want to stick to these areas of the map because that is where our greatest percentage of pulling out a kill is against something like an auto rifle, or a shotgun, or a pulse rifle, or another scout rifle, or a fusion rifle. And another tip I can give you as a passive player is to never close the gap between you and your enemy, because one, that is decreasing your rate of success, and two, you're increasing their rate of success of killing you. Now, last but not least, don't worry if these tips don't help you right away. Now, I know that sounds contradicting to everything that I just said, and there probably wouldn't be any reason for this video if these tips didn't help you, but it will take time for that muscle memory to set in and develop. No one knows everything about all the maps of a new game or a new expansion right off the bat. Nobody knows the feel of a new game before anybody else does. But learning how each map plays and the pace of each map will definitely help you succeed in the Crucible. Now, I know I've been really shoddy with uploads the last couple weeks. I've been trying really hard to find a good day or days to upload videos, but in the hospitality business, you don't really get to make your own schedule, unfortunately. On top of that, with the holidays and just family, and it just booked me up even more than I'd like. So, I'd like to thank everybody who's been sticking with me up until this point. If you have any more tips to spare about playstyles or map movement, leave it in the comment section down below. I'm pretty sure you guys can teach me a thing or two. I'm not the Destiny Master, alright? If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, why not hit that subscribe button and leave the video some love by giving it a thumbs up. And as always, I will see you in the next video.